we're back with another review. We just got caught up finishing the Shin Kamen Rider movie, right? Go watch that when you can, how you can, right? The Khaiza's Toku Nut watch Shin Kamen Rider. It was a 8.5 out of 10, right? Came out on Amazon Prime Friday, like last Friday. So go ahead and watch it if you're a Toku Nut. But now we're not here for like Tokus. Now we're here for something mainstream media related, right? Marvel's Secret Invasion, starring everybody's favorite everybody's favorite actor, Nick Fury. There you go. Everybody's favorite character, Nick Fury, aka Sam Jackson. Marvel's Secret Invasion, the fight between humans or superheroes versus Skrulls, the shape-shifting menace from the planet Skrt, or what is like their home planet? I know they're like what was it? Some of like the Marvel like pretexts, right? Is Skrulls versus Kree, and that they're always like at war with each other. Skrulls are technically like the bad guys, and Kree are kind of like the good guys, something like that. And they have been like mentioned in the MCU, like kind of like late-ish, right? They've been introduced in Captain Marvel as like the quote-unquote main enemy of that movie, and now they're just like they've been like sprinkled around here and there in like the Spider-Man Far From Home end credits scene. And now they're in full frontal. Oh, and also in WandaVision, yeah, that was also like a Kree like member. Skrull member. And now they're in full frontal force in Marvel's Secret Invasion, right? So the Secret Invasion like plot line, you know, before episode 1, at episode 1, takes place like after the events of Captain Marvel. And I watched that movie, but yeah, I just didn't find it like enjoyable, really. Like the most enjoyable parts were like you know, CGI young Sam Jackson, right, with the head, with the hair and shit. And of course they're like a kitty, right, that is a monstrous like fucking alien that sucks up things. But for the most part it was okay. But Skrulls have been like in around for the MCU, and like Kevin Feige released Secret Invasion in the 1st of like June, or was it like the 1st of June? Was it 1st of June, or was it like the end, almost like the end of like May? There were like 6 episodes, but it was a 6th episode run like show. Each one was like an hour like long, and it deals with Nick Fury coming back to Earth after his like events with Saber, right? And Saber, right, I did not know this until like fucking WandaVision, or like now, that like Saber is like like an interstellar like space defense like program, right, that Fury is like head of. So yeah, that's cool, but like me, my like dumbass like Marvel brain is like, I don't know what the fuck Saber is. Anything like past X-Men or Spider-Man is like, I don't know. So Saber is totally fucking new. But for the most part, Marvel's Secret Invasion was essentially a political espionage type of feel of a Marvel show, right? The whole like premise of Secret Invasion is that Skrulls like invaded Earth, and they have the ability to shapeshift into anyone that they imprisoned. They carry their skin, their face, and their thoughts and emotions, and they could perfectly emulate the person that they have copied, which makes them, you know, the perfect fucking menace for emotions of clout, gaslighting, delusion, trustfulness, right? Clear fucking enemies of the Marvel universe, right? How I know of Skrulls was like from the Disney animated shows back then. Like the not Disney, the Disney XD one, yeah. Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. They had like a they had like a Skrull like subplot, right? Like they captured like Captain America, Invisible Woman, so many like others like deep in the Skrull like compounds, and they had to like rebuild themselves up back after confusing the entire Earth populace that they were those heroes. And of course, I know Skrulls from Ultimate Marvel 3, obviously, right? I am Klept, the Super Skrull, right? Getting the powers of the Fantastic Four all in like one character. Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and the Thing, right? Never played the character. Of course, never played the character. He is like interesting. He is a Scream Lord, but like never really gelled with him per se, right? But for the most part, you know, Secret Invasion is of course a political espionage film, right? It's heavily hitting on those tones really well. Like, it reminds me of like a historical lesson that I learned back in the day, right? And it was with like American history, and it was about, there you go. It was about what was it? This dude named Jesse McCarthy, and he made like, what was it? The McCarthyist trials. And so what they essentially are is that he would like pick out like people, not pick out people, sorry, he would like summon people regardless of their occupation or gender, and deduce that and ask them like, are you a terrorist? Are you a communist spy? Sort of things like that. So it definitely like reminds me like of those vibes, right? But yeah, Secret Invasion is, you know, don't trust anybody. Everything is like a, you know, like a conspiracy theory. Aliens are living among us as we like, you know, speak. In this case, like the Skrulls, right? And it's Fury's job to drive the Skrulls off of their planet, right? Right, that's like the whole premise, right? Of course, you know, the dudes from S.H.I.E.L.D., Maria Hill, who was it? Who's the other guy? Martin Freeman. I forgot who he plays, but there's Colonel Rhodes in there. Doesn't like suit up for like God knows why. Probably like the suit would be really expensive on like the budget maybe. But Nick Fury does Nick Fury stuff really well. And of course like the Skrulls are like, you know, the main like highlight. Like it just like, they look weird like seeing them in like in the actual screen, but you know, they're all right. They got like some weird like MCU like funkiness like to their aesthetic looks with the purpleness or like the purple highlights on top of like the green like accoutrements that Skrulls are like known for. But overall, like the Skrull like plight was pretty fascinating to see. Performances were done really well by Sam Jackson. There was Emilia Clarke. The guy who plays the main villain, Gravik, he does a really good like a British like role. Giving off like British accents, not like a British role, but he does like British accents done like really well. But it's like, you know, he does such like a good job being like a menacing like force. Yeah, but everything is just about, you know, just politics, right, for the most part. And so we could like start off with like, you know, the spoilers of everything, right? Spoilers, right? So Nick Fury comes back to Earth after like a long hiatus from Earth, comes down to planet Earth from Saber, right? And he has like a job to do, right? The Skrulls are becoming much more rampant courtesy to the main antagonist Graphic, who was a orphan scroll kid that lost his parents in the Kree versus Skull War, and with the efforts of Sam Jackson and Carol Danvers, they tried to relocate and bring safety to the Skrull populace, right? But then, of course, you know, a few Skrulls want to earn their prideful right by being like the warmongering Skrulls that they are. They are a terror of the galaxy to begin with, courtesy of Talos, right? And Talos was like a character introduced in Captain Marvel. But again, like Captain Marvel, I only saw like once or like twice and don't remember hardly any of it ever again. Right? That was like how low barrel of a MCU movie really was like to me, is that if it's got like some good beats, if it got like some good vibes, right? Like it's cool, but for the most part, Captain Marvel just like punches and like blasts things, like it's, you know, nothing crazy, right? But yes, Secret Invasion kicks off with like, you know, Nick Fury coming back to deal with like Graphic, and each and every episode is like dealing with the political stuff, right? The first episode kicked off explosive with Maria Hill, Sam Jackson, Martin Freeman, trying to find like Graphic and the remaining like Skrull rebels. But whole thing at the end of like episode 1 was Graphic blew up. Graphic detonated like a bomb in like an international like peace day in Russia, and shot off Maria Hill and blamed it on Nick Fury. And the rest of the episodes was just Nick Fury hiding, trying to avoid the light, the limelight from allies, from not only enemies but also allies. Colonel Rhodes is in there, right? Rhodey is back. Don Cheadle. He doesn't put on the suit. I don't know why he doesn't put on the suit, the War Machine suit, right? He could easily done that if he like, you know, wanted to, but I don't understand, right? He could definitely like pilot the suit, but maybe like, you know, what was it, narration like choice or plot choice deemed him like, you know, keep on like the human suit and never don like the never done like the War Machine suit ever again. Maybe that was like destroyed and like stopped using the Iron Man suits at all. But yeah, Rhodey tries to like arrest and dox Nick Fury, but Nick Fury retaliates, hiding in like so many like different places, seeking help from like other people to stop the Skrull invasion, teaming up with like Talos, and there's like the side plot with Talos and his daughter Gaia. Gaia becomes like in league with Graphic for a better, quote-unquote nobler Skrull cause, because, you know, Talos let his wife Gaia's mother die. What else was there? Yeah, like there's another character, Sonya Falsworth, who's like, you know, underground ringleader that deals with international affairs, I think, and tries to deal with like the Skrull threat like herself, while also siding with like Nick Fury. It is revealed that like Nick Fury has like a Skrull wife named Priscilla or Vera. Rhodey orders Vera to kill Nick Fury, but ultimately it didn't work because they love each other. You know, like lover shit. What's interesting about like the Skrulls is that, you know, in the comics, like they don't imprison their human hosts. Well, they do, right? They imprison here as well. Like, that's how Colonel Rhodey was imprisoned, and the Rhodey that we knew before he was imprisoned was a human. And that Rhodey was the Rhodey that got injured during the Civil War movie, Captain America Civil War, where he lost his like legs. Because in the final episode you don't see him like walking, right? He had to be like carried by like 2 other imprisoned dudes. Yeah, but it was revealed that Rhodey was a Skrull all along, right? After the events of Civil War. A lot of people like theorized that like, oh, maybe like Rhodey was imprisoned after Iron Man 1. That's why they like changed the character from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle or some shit like that. Of course not, you know, that's not the case. It was after like Civil War. But yeah, right, like there was Sonya Falsworth, there's like Gaia with like her plight, Talos trying to stop Gravik by being like his old like conniving ways, you know, Priscilla being ordered by like the Skrull Rhodey to like finish off Nick Fury. There's a lot of like these like, you know, who do we trust, and you know, do we trust them enough to, you know, carry out the deed, right? Gravik kills Talos. Gravik has like a subplot where he has to get like the harvest where they become Super Skrulls, right? That's where they like toss the name Super Skrulls. And this harvest is like gathering like the DNA of different superheroes and supervillains. Like there was like Ebony Maw, Groot, Hulk, Thor Odinson, Captain Marvel. Honestly, it was very like disappointing. Like it was very disappointing that they just like get like those powers. I thought it would be like, you know, some other weird fuckos powers, right? I thought it would be like, you know, the Fantastic Four, but of course not. They're not going to do Fantastic Four or mutants yet until Deadpool 3, something like that. And we won't see Deadpool 3 until maybe like next year or something like that. We won't get that bitch in until like fucking 2026, right? But yeah, like the series ended with Nick Fury trying to stop the Skrull invasion, you know, saving the president from Skrull forces, and Gaia taking revenge on Gravik for killing her mother and her father, and avenging Maria Hill, who, you know, had to be one-off like that in episode 1. She couldn't like stay for like longer. Like it's like the biggest like what the fuck, right? But the series ends with like Gaia and Sonya Falsworth teaming up to stop like hidden Skrull rebels. The president of the Marvel Cinematic Universe calls a militaristic action to like Skrulls are within the United States, and it incites, right, some crazy fucking vigilantes, mostly just like dumb people following the propaganda of the United States, of the president, to kill off like Skrulls, whether they be high officials or not, or just like random killings. Even like Nick Fury said, like, you took a bad situation and made it worse. And the president is like, yo, get off my back. Yo, these aliens are in my country. Get them off my planet. Right, sort of shit like that. And then the episode ends with Nick Fury leaving back to Saber with his, you know, Skrull wife, Priscilla, or Vera. And I mean, I gave like a short description on like, you know, Secret Invasion because, you know, there was so much like political espionage here and there, right? Because that's like the theming of the show. But honestly, Secret Invasion is like, this is like a kind of like meh Marvel like Disney Plus show. And some of their like other Disney shows were like, you know, fantastic. WandaVision is still good, Loki is still good, What If is still good. Captain Marvel, you know, it's a 50-50. Moon Knight is good. right? But for the most part, like, I get this like feeling of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe like consensus is that they're dropping like in terms of like their quality. Like anything like after Endgame, outside of like a rare few of Marvel movies like No Way Home, and what else was a good like banger of a Marvel movie? I guess Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but I have not seen that yet. I'm waiting for the Disney Plus version to come out. Right, it like came out in May. I'm expecting that shit in like May, June, July, August or September, something along those lines. Yeah, I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but I heard it was pretty good. What was a good like Phase 3? Well, not Phase 3. Sorry, Phase 4 movie. Fuck, I can't remember which one. Because, like, some of them were just, like, you know, hit or misses. Like, Thor, what was it? Love and Thunder was okay, but it became, like, hella obnoxious. Shang-Chi, oh yeah, Shang-Chi was a good one, but I think it was, like, more Shang-Chi's story rather than just like the whole Marvel like subplot, like what's the next big threat sort of like Marvel subplot. I guess like Ant-Man was pretty good, but I just hated how they like sidelined MODOK like that, right? And spoilers to like, you know, Ant-Man enjoyers saw like the Ant-Man film. It was good, right? Ant-Man doing Ant-Man things, and you know, Kang the Conqueror being like, you know, a menacing force. Jonathan Majors does like a good role, you know, portraying like the character, right? That he wants to like get out and shit. But like maybe after like the events of, you know, what happened to him with the allegation. I know he got like released back after the allegations, but that's like a long time ago. But man, I hate how they did MODOK dirty, bro. They revealed MODOK to be fucking Darren Cross, the one-off villain in Ant-Man 1, the fucking like mentally unstable dude from that movie. Gave him like a bald head and they just like, you know, made him like a pity creature, right? Like fuck that. MODOK is the dude from AIM, right? He's a goddamn maniacal bitch. Right, what's with these like you know, Marvel Phase 4 or Phase 5 films that let just like dethroning some of these like Marvel one-off champions, right? Black Widow did it first with like Taskmaster, and it became like fucking Dreykov's daughter. It was like Olga like Kurylenko or some shit, that actress from some like Bond movies or shit like that. But it was just so fucking lame. Like I like my villains to be like my villains. Stop like, you know, humanizing them. I get it. It's like it's the Marvel like MCU shtick. But please, man, please. Stop trying to like change like villains like origins and just keep them like the way they are, you know? Shit. Make villains like good again. You made them with like Thanos and shit like that. You could possibly do it again. But yeah, like Secret Invasion left me with a kind of like meh feeling, you know, like it wasn't anything too crazy, right? It just ended with like some, you know, real life highlights more than anything, real world like parallels more than anything. But other than that, you know, it was an okay series. Like, this is like the series we got after, you know, a 1 year fucking hiatus. After a 1 year hiatus of like no Marvel Disney Plus shows at all or movies at all. Because, you know, after like She-Hulk or, you know, was it? Yeah, it was She-Hulk. A lot of people just got really tired of the quality of Marvel Cinematic Universe shows. Right, they just became like sick of it, and they don't want to like deal with that. and like this is like the material of like a show that we like get, and I'm like, man. Kind of like a downgrade, like if you ask me. I mean, Sam Jackson does a good Sam Jackson like performance, right? Because that's like the legendary GOAT actor, right? He's good for those roles, but I feel like he could have done so much better with like, you know, different writing, or like added like more characters, more like legacy actors, legacy Marvel like actors into like the mix, instead of just dealing with like the scrolls and shit. You know, like that's me, that's like on my opinion. But, you know, I don't know if we'll like get like movies again, right? I mean, we are scheduled to like get movies, like the Marvels is going to be coming in November. What's like the, there you go, what's like the year count for MCU phase 4, or what's phase 5? Right, we gotta look at like phase 5, right? So Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man and Wasp, Marvels will be upcoming in November 10th. Oh, Deadpool is going to be coming in May 3rd of 2024. Right, that's it. Captain America Brave New World. Who's going to be in it? I think it was, yeah, it had this guy who starred as a hidden like villain Easter egg in The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. I don't know who this is. Sabra, an Israeli superheroine. I don't know who this chick is. The fuck? Oh, but Harrison Ford is going to be Thaddeus Ross, right? Yeah, and he was supposed to be like this actor. Yeah, he was yeah, William Hurt was like the name, who did Thaddeus Ross, but then stopped. Liv Tyler's coming back as like Betty Ross, so shit, it's gonna be good. There's also Seth Rollins and shit, so that's good. There's also the slated Thunderbolts with the weirdest fucking roster picks that you could ever pick of, with Winter Soldier, Ghost from Ant-Man 2, John Walker from Falcon and Winter Soldier, Julia Dreyfus as the obscure fucking villain in that series as well, Black Widow, the sister Black Widow, Florence Pugh, and Red Guardian. Oh, and Taskmaster is back with the same actress, Olga Kurylenko. Oh my god. And then of course Blade, right? Blade will also be coming. But that's like the movie timeline, because, you know, those are like movies, and I can't wait for like Marvels, because that has Kamala Khan in it, so I'm going to be watching that. Deadpool 3, I'm hella amped for. I'm going to be cautious around Captain America Brave New World and Blade, right? Then then for TVs, is going to be Loki. I'm hella excited for Loki season 2. I didn't do season 1 review, but I give like Loki like, you know, a 9 out of 10 for being like the first wave of Marvel Disney Plus shows. It's hella unique. Loki running around, stopping, being a time variance authority, just busting down on crimes and finding out who Kang is. So I'm hella excited for Loki season 2. Echo, I will be cautiously optimistic, because, you know, Echo was a character from Hawkeye, who was like the deaf girl that wanted to throw down with Hawkeye for Hawkeye as Ronin killing her father. So I'm surprised Marvel Studios gave like a spin-off for her. She's gonna be coming November 29th, so that would be like after the Marvels. Ironheart's gonna be fucking Riri Williams' story, slated for 2024. There's Agatha Hargreaves' Coven of Chaos. I don't know what that's gonna be, but it has 9 episodes. Shit. But I'm really excited for Daredevil Born Again with 18 episodes in 2024. And then we have season 2 of What If to be announced, right? But yeah, that's like the time slate for Marvel ships moving forward. But overall, Secret Invasion is fine. It's good for like a first time like watch. I wouldn't watch it like, you know, a second time. But it was good. It was interesting. It was interesting, you know, for what it is, being like a political espionage like type of like show, you know? It was fun.